Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or blink. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Traders, stop stressing over the S&P 500. Get structured daily outlooks, levels and actionable setups for ES futures, delivered before the market opens. Plus weekly insights on crypto, stocks, and commodities. Subscribe today on Substack. Conquer the markets.
Oh, what's up? Good to see everybody. We are back. It is Wednesday, and things worked out just as predicted. Once again, we've been pointing down for a while. That's exactly what happened. I just need to put my watch on real fast. I feel naked without that. All right, so today was an interesting day. Actually, I had a pretty incredible day today. I wanted to thank everyone who tuned into the webinar. We had a nice full house. A lot of Team VICI was in there today. Bryce, good to see you. I know Bryce was in there. I had a handful of people. Zook, Stinky, TML. We had, the list goes on. I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 people were in there. It was awesome. I appreciate you guys showing up. I finally got to announce my official launch with Target Trading. These guys are the ones that are going to put VICI on the map. Pretty excited about that. They're going to get your boy on TV. We're going to do some marketing, and we're going to teach people our process because, as Bryce knows, the shit is money, right? And so it just our structure is where it's at, and it's really, really fantastic. And I love to see the team win. You know, guys are in the room every day just printing money, and I love that. So just to kind of let you know, and I was telling somebody this yesterday, my road to profitability was painful. I mean, painful. I'm talking about tears and the whole 9 yards. I mean, when you struggle for so long and the market will humble your ass, you start to think that you just, I don't know, there's something wrong with you. Maybe you suck. I don't know what it is. And you probably do suck at the time. Otherwise, you'd have had it figured out sooner. But everybody kind of figures it out at their own pace. And I went through some serious emotional trauma with trading. I mean, just look at my hair. Look at this. I used to have long, beautiful hair. What the fuck happened? Trading is what happened. But with that being said, we eventually worked it out and it was good. And now I love to help guys beat the learning curve. It's kind of what I do. I actually get more pride in watching guys make money than myself. Bryce can speak firsthand. He's actually a personal friend. He's come in, he's crushed it. Nothing's made me happier. I mean, watching him make $1,000 makes me more excited than me making money. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't know. I get some sort of satisfaction. Maybe I'm a cluck. What do they call that? Cuck. I don't know. I get off by watching other guys do their thing. I don't know. Is that right, Bryce? Did I say that right? All right, maybe so. Anyways, with that being said, it was an awesome announcement today. I'm super excited, looking forward to, helping other people achieve some success here. And so it's going to be great. We also launched our first automated product that's going to be available today. We had a whole discourse on it, and I'm actually going to talk about it a little bit today. This is going to be big, you guys, and I'm going to just kind of give the same spiel. I doubt it'll be as good as the spiel I gave today in the webinar, but I do want to talk about it because now that I've officially released it with Target, I want to talk about what we're doing, what our plans are, and what you guys can expect in the future. It's going to be big. The reason I say that is because, let's be honest, I've been trading for a long time. I come from an institutional background, the whole 9 yards. Listen, they don't want traders that click buttons anymore. Yeah, even traders that click buttons like me don't want to click buttons. You got guys who are working full-time jobs. We trade because we make good money. I mean, of course we make good money, but God, I'd rather be making money from the back of a jet ski. You know what I'm saying? So that is what's up. And I want to show you guys what my partner Rob has come up with that is absolutely groundbreaking. We have something that nobody else has in this entire industry. And I know that sounds insane, but it's true. And I hope this post goes viral. When I show you guys what's going to go on, please like and retweet this, forward this along. More people need to know about it. I'm going to save it the best for last, though. First, we're going to get into the trade plan here shortly. And it's going to be a short one because I wasn't around most of the day. I was prepping for the webinar and dealing with all that stuff. So I'm just going to kind of bust off the highlights, and then we're going to talk about this automated strategy thing as well. Also, another thing, this is kind of it's a big deal for some people. It's not a big deal for others. Once again, my relationship with Apex Trader Funding is back in a good standing. Apex has been cutting off affiliates left and right. They've been having a big problem with people churning accounts and the whole 9 yards. So I went through a large, rigorous qualification process with them again. This is like my third time in a year, but we did it again. They came to the room. They came to the webinar. They checked out the Substack. They've been all over my Twitter and all that, and they know that we're doing things the right way. We don't promote gambling. We don't promote churning. And they've decided to keep me once again. So here we go. If you guys want to use Apex, they have 85% off right now. Use code VICI at checkout. I'm very proud to announce that we've actually been able to salvage that partnership because there isn't really too many players in the space right now. And I know it's saturated with prop firm companies, but good ones, they're few and far between. And people can talk shit about Apex all they want, but they're the only ones that let you have 20 accounts. So I'm with you, Apex. That's what's up. And I have a few choice ones that I really like. Lucid's another good one. There's quite a few. So, and I would say quite a few. There's a handful that I have that I've worked diligently to keep partnerships with. And so I value those. The other thing is Edgeful. Of course, you guys, they have been my sponsor for a while. I just submitted another deal with them to basically continue repping their product because, man, it's a great product and it fits directly into our business model. So I'm happy to sponsor them day in and day out because they are my number one sponsor. So thank you, Edgeful, for promoting us and actually, helping us generate good trades and good content. So with that being said, before we get into it, let's go ahead and just fire up the screen share here. You guys know what's coming. You got to follow me across all the socials if you haven't done so already. Ryan Bailey Edge across YouTube, Substack, TradingView, and X. Of course, X. Yes. You guys, I just put out a new indicator 2 days ago on TradingView. If you go download it, it's fabulous for those of you who are following the trade plans. I put a little string in the trade plan now. Let me show you exactly what it looks like and show you guys how to use it real fast because this is clutch. I absolutely love this. I know the guys in the room are liking this right now. Let me show you what's up here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and show you exactly where to look for it. So in the trade plans, guys, here's the way they look. In the bottom of the trade plan, when you get all the way down here past all the goodness, this is your indicator string right here, okay? I go over this every morning once we get it up there. And all you got to do is copy this and paste it over into this little jazz here. Let's go ahead and just throw this up here, show you guys how to work this. I'm going to go with this chart. I don't know why it's not on here right now, but it's not. So let's just go ahead and throw that on there. I'm going to copy this string. Believe it or not, this was really hard to do, you guys, and especially to get the tool that's going to be consistently right for you. It's actually, this was a pretty difficult little project. So go ahead and show you how dope this is, though. You put it right in here under paste levels, hit OK. And then boom, there you go. And let me go ahead and hide the levels that I have. And boom, there's your levels for the whole day. Super dope. Excellent way to do the trade plans. Come right in. You get to see the exact color coding that I use. You guys know this is exactly how I have it in the video. Purple for untested monthlies, red for significant dailies, pink for untested, green for 4-hour levels. And just absolutely awesome the way this works. This really helps you speed up your process and your trades in the morning. That way you don't have to spend an hour after I send you the trade plan trying to figure out where to draw your lines. So I got, the call walls and put walls on here. And just keep in mind, this isn't all the call and put walls, by the way. It's only the ones that I call out, because the AI tool picks up the ones that I'm specifically, talking about. So you might have to go through and refine certain things, like the options levels. That's really it. So everything else should be in here. And that kind of gives you an idea how that works. Freedom Trades, what's up, dude? Freedom's actually one of the Substack publishers that I aspire to be like. He is putting up some hits out there right now. He has got a nice little following. You guys should check him out if you get a chance. He's in here, Freedom Trades, guys. Check him out. All right, so like I said, we're going to go ahead and skip right into the market context now and kind of get with this program, because I want to show you guys some of this automated stuff that we're coming out with next week. So first and foremost, as usual, the 68.35 ceiling held, right? That was yesterday. We called that as being our ceiling. That held for most of it, actually held for Globex. And then it was the high of the morning session. And then the afternoon session, they popped up. They played 47. We lost 35. And that is once again our ceiling right now. But we've had a very important weekly directly below us at 67.61. Now, how important is that? Well, let's just take a look. Let's pull up our handy dandy thing right here. Well, look at this. Look at that. We played it 1, 2. We held it all day. And then finally, this was yesterday, and then finally last night, and finally they broke loose. And we're kind of right by it right now. Just an interesting wall right here. So just to show you how this stuff works here, right on a chart here. So again, last night we went back and forth and held our major support area. This is pre-CPI. We held up by our daily weekly combo at the 61.72 area that I just showed you guys. Okay. So today was certainly going to be an interesting day. However, we were expecting a breakout at some point above or below yesterday's range. And why did I say that? Well, our statistics tell us that when we open in the previous day, especially on a Wednesday, we have a 100% probability of breaking out of that day's range. That's huge, right? So we knew we were going to expect a move, and I put it in here pre-market because at this point I've memorized most of the data and I knew what day it was. And I looked, and I'll show you exactly, guys. And I put it in the trade plan and in the room this morning, so you should have solved this. Also, negative gamma, guys. Every morning I call out where our options levels tell us we need to be. We are in negative gamma regime still this morning, so dealers were continuing to hedge to the downside. But anything can happen, so be prepared. Look, I try to make sure that I don't bias anyone as strongly as possible. I know I have my beliefs, but listen, we have news. Markets change. When we get red tag news, those are market changing events. So I don't want to, just assume that it can't happen. So I always try to just say, be prepared, right? So even though I'm leaning a certain direction, and a lot of the guys in the room, they know me. If I'm leaning a certain direction, my conviction is hardcore. I'll get stuck in a squeeze sometimes. I'm so convicted. So it happens to the best of us. Catch me if you can. What's up, Costas? Good to see you guys. Pleasure. All right, so on to the next one, right? So again, once as usual, we've talked about this multiple times. Again, I'm still leaning to the downside. Have been for weeks. We're still very much pointing to the downside. We need a 4-hour close above 68.47 to shift momentum. We're going to talk about that. And I pointed that out yesterday in the post-market breakdown 2 different times. And I told you what's going to happen if we don't close above that, which was new lows above below 65.80. And we're going to talk about that more here shortly. So we need to close above this, above 68.47 to shift momentum in the favor of the bulls, even slightly, but we still had a lot of pressure of the overhead resistance above us. Okay. So here was the other thing that I pointed out, right? So we have a range balance in the CPI catalyst. So I let everybody know right ahead, right? We're currently distributing in a sideways fashion. Guys, we moved up 250 points and then we're sitting sideways at the leg end high. To me, that classifies as distribution. I'm sorry, that's what it is, right? So we're still stuck in the middle of yesterday's range last night. We drifted back and forth. We were held up by our big weekly daily combo I just showed you on the Trading View chart. Market participants have still yet to determine their direction. Well, we know what happened today, but still. But we can expect a breakout at some point above or below the range. Question is which direction? Well, I can't bias you. I can't tell you how to trade, but I am telling you I'm currently leaning to the downside, right? So again, no matter how we look at it, we needed to close above that for the bulls to even take charge. But as long as we continue to play this leg, we're going to be pointing down. And so a push below our 67.61 opens the door for a flush lower. We're not going to read the rest of this. We're going to leave it at that. All right. So here, let's go right into the VIX. Now, the VIX was kind of weak sauce today, actually. but we're going to use it anyway because it was very important, right? So the 2470 monthly, that's this red level right here, guys. So this was currently, when I took this picture, we were currently sitting above it and we were elevated, holding above the significant monthly. And this was our big breakout pivot for us yesterday. This is the level I was determining whether we were going to push all the way up to 28 or come down. Yesterday, we know we pushed up pre-market, but yesterday we broke below it, which caused us to have an upside lean most of the day. So today, when we opened, we were sitting directly above it, right? So we need to monitor this pivot for above below today. Directly below that, we have the weekly at 23.43, which held, and it could be important once again. I will tell you right now, it never got tested today. It will still be important if we come into that. Guys, and I'm just going to say this because there is a few course holders in here right now. Bryce, Zug, what do you guys see on this? What do you see? Tell me right now. I'm going to show you what you see. I don't know. This is for everybody else. That was kind of a rhetorical question. I go ahead and post this in the room for everybody. I guys show you this. This is a textbook setup of mine. There's certain conditions that are met. This is a monster wing play. I won't get into the details on how this works, but ultimately I'm looking at a retest of 23.43 for a big potential pop on SPX that takes us above 26.50. I thought it would happen today. It did not happen, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But let's go ahead and take a look at VIX and see what happened with it today so we can just get an idea of what was cooking. Well, here was VIX today, and here was our big 2470 line. This is where we opened today, and we just kind of flirted with it all day. Yes, we pushed above it. We came back and but it was a little weak sauce. VIX did not perform for us today, but again, we held this line, and as long as we held above the 2470, we still continue to have that downside lean, which most of you guys know we did actually push down today quite a few points today. So, at least we still use this as our barometer. That's the idea. It doesn't always have to break out, but with that being said, it did its job, and we kept our bias to the right, to the downside, considering the fact that we never really broke below the 2470. So it was a nice little barometer, even though it's a little choppy. But, it is what it is. Chad, I'm glad you're here, Chad. It's good to see you. Finally made it. That's what's up. Better late than never, brother. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and bring it into this one now here. This is going to be important for you guys, okay? So check this out. I shared this with you yesterday. This is yesterday's picture. This is the leg down, guys. This is the 4-hour leg down. And this is the 68.4725. Unless we close the 4-hour above this, we are coming down, like way down here, okay? I'm a firm believer that is a possibility. Now, we still have this highest level on the 4-hour untested, which was in the trade plan. This is the 68.3250 area. This is still technically untested. I can show it to you on a chart so you can take a look, but that is the untested area, the highest untested in this spot. Regardless of what is untested and what isn't, if they cannot get above the 68.47, we will make new lows underneath this leg. It is going to happen because they cannot gain support on the 4-hour or 1-hour time frame. This is where it all starts right here. And if they can't do that, then you got to make new lows. I'm going to tell you right now, if you can't make new highs, say it for me, you're going to make new lows. It's just how it works. I'm sorry. That's how liquidity happens. And why the fuck would you keep buying if you can't push higher? You let it come down, let it sweep the low, grab some liquidity, and try again. And that is how the markets work, guys. Okay, so that is the first thing you got to keep in mind. This is going to come into play for tomorrow as well. Just know if they can't gain on the 4-hour, we're coming down. And this is what I keep meaning by this. This is a perfect example so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. Here's the next one. So just to cover the market context and what I meant by this, right here, our current market context, we had that range balance in core CPI catalyst. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you, but I did say right here, we can expect a breakout at some point above or below the day's range. Question is, which one, right? With the core market CPI, that may arrive very soon. Well, I'll tell you right now that anytime that you open inside of the day's range, particularly the day's value area, now this is an interesting statistic. Opening with inside the day's range is different than opening inside the day's value area. There is a statistic that says if you open inside the previous day's value area, you have an 84% chance of moving outside that day's range within the first, I think it's before noon or something like that. It's high. Regardless, even if it was all day, it doesn't freaking matter. That is a very high statistic. I actually did a whole post on this. I'll have to dig it up. I'm trying to go off memory. I got so many statistics in my head. It's pathetic. So all I remember is 84% if you open in the previous day's range and move out. So when I'm looking at this in the morning, this is our current price right here, this little red arrow. And so I see it. This is the value right here. And I'm like, okay, we're going to bust the move, right? Which way is it going to be? I don't know. But my lean is to the downside. And then when the market opened, check out Edgeful with this fucking breakthrough stat, baby. Again, another 100-pointer or 100%er right here. Look at this. If it opens inside yesterday's range on a Wednesday, right? Because a Wednesday is more powerful than Thursdays or Tuesdays, apparently. You have a 100% chance. 100. It's crazy. 100% chance of breaking the prior day's high or prior day's low. I'm not sure you can get any better than that. Now, they didn't tell you which direction we were going to do, but that was pretty good. If you already have a bias or a lean and you know you're under certain supports, man, why would you not gun for that, right? I mean, come on, 100%? Like, I got to hold for that. It's crazy not to, right? So I just wanted to point that out to you. Edgeful, thank you again for the sponsorship. Thank you again for the amazing statistics. You guys use my link if you want. I don't care. You don't need to. It doesn't matter. They're going to, they hook me up regardless. I just want everybody to use their product. It's $50 a month and it's $2.50 a trading day. And you can't beat data like this. It works on stocks, Forex, crypto, everything. Everything's there. Everything. It's so much data for $2.50. It's freaking incredible. So I would rep this product regardless. I would use it even if they dropped me, because how can I deny stats like this? I mean, if I trade even just 2 or 3 contracts, right? I'm still talking about thousands of dollars every trade. So $50, let's let it go. All right, on to the next one. Here we go. So here we go. Here's my pre-market heads up. So I tell these boys, you guys ready to let the dogs out? This is at 9:17 in the morning, right? So and I'm telling everybody, I mean, I do the plan, but you guys got to remember, I do the plans early. Not only do I get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, today I got up at 4 because I was working on slides for the presentation, but I'm writing these plans sometimes at 6, 7 in the morning. So things change. We had news, the whole 9 yards. So I'm telling everybody, hey, listen, if we pop, I'm watching 1525 and 3250 to 3850 for reactions, right? Well, 68.32.50 was the 4-hour that I was talking about that was still untested at the highs when I showed you the 4-hour leg picture. You guys remember that. And then here was the other one at 68.15.25. Okay, cool. Everybody, okay, cool. We're waiting on that. No problem. All right. So at this point, I'm still leaning short, right? And so I'm just waiting for a pop to come up. So here we go. Boom. Not only did we pop up and play 68.15.25, that was the freaking high of the day. And you know what I did? I short stroked it. Totally short stroked it. So terrible. Only put on one contract because I really thought we were going to come higher. I really thought we were going to test the 3250. I put on right at the right price, 1550, as you can see, right? I had one contract on. I took it for 10 points, 5-point stop, whatever. Got my 10 points. But this thing paid 75 points today. As you can see down here, it just kept going. And it actually took us straight from 4-hour to 4-hour down to 49, which was the low of the day, which we'll get into again, because as you can see, clearly in the trade plan, right? It's right on my levels here. I only had 3 levels to play today. We had 32, 15, and 49. Okay, you can probably guess it was in the trade plan. Why? Because it was, right? So anyways, I got my 10 points. And then I watched it go the rest of the day. Of course, I pieced out pretty early after that one, got my money and got up out of there. But hey, listen, $500 a day keeps the 9 to 5 away, so I'm not mad. Got my little chunk change and rolled the fuck out. So, all right, on to the next one, guys. All right, so here we go. So on this move down, I wanted to show you this. On this move down, because we're still in the search for the previous day's low, right? We're still hunting previous day's low. We knew that was in the statistic. We knew it was coming, right? And so here's what was interesting. As you guys know, in the morning, I always put out SPX with everything because I'm watching SPX, I'm watching VIX, even though I trade ES, right? So for me, it's all just confluence. I use these in combination. Plus, SPX is the OG. I can't certainly turn a blind eye to the OG. So again, I let everybody know here in the morning, if SPX loses major support found yesterday at 67.62, it could slide. Well, guess what? On that push down from that smack, guess what they played? 67.62. They didn't just play it for a little bit. They played it for like 25 or 30 points, which was really the nice little pop there at the end. And then they ended up popping and coming down and grabbing the high later. But I just wanted to point out how the levels work. It's in the plan. You should be marking this shit down and you should be watching it like a hawk, just like I do. I let everybody in the room know what's up. And this is why, because the markets are dynamic. They're constantly moving, they're evolving. And when we're day trading, we got to know where this is at. You got to take profits, especially if you're way in the money. It's like, I'm not going to let that shit come all the way back on me. I'd rather just reshort it. So what's up, Dr. UV? I liked your post, bro. By the way, I retweeted some of your stuff there, as you know. Some nice write-ups, man. Good job. We got some real content creators in the house today. That's what's up. All right, so here we go. Here's our last one, right? Here's the last one. This is the last one on the trade plan today. And I'm going to show you guys. Actually, let's just go over here. I'm going to show you this. So right here, we know the 67.49. This was our last level. Why is this thing all zoomed in? Here we go. This was our last 4-hour level. You can see we talked about it from the short from 68.15, or at least you could see it here. So here it was right in the trade plan. This is our 4-hour target. This is our singles target, what have you. 67.49 is the 4-hour. This is the first area of support if we break below 67.61, which we did. That was the big spot that we were really holding for the past 2 days. They finally broke it. We played at this action. Here's the conditional long. You ready? Actionable setups in place, right? If 67.49 plays, we want to see it get back above the weekly at 61. It's our big red level of 61 that we've been fighting for 2 days. It better get back above that. Otherwise, it's going nowhere, right? And then ultimately above yesterday's low at 65. And we had in the overnight low there, it looked like, I don't know where that was at. I don't know. It looks like about 64 or something. I don't know. And ultimately above the 65 yesterday's low for a continuation higher. And we did all that, right? And it didn't just pay a little bit. It paid 30 points, $1,500 a car, baby. And I know my room grabbed some of this, and I'm going to show you how I know these things, because one of the double OGs in the room right here. Billy just couldn't stand it. He had to eke something out. So check this out. Look at Zug again. This guy's a fucking monster. 568 points today. Not a bad day, Zug and NQ. Toot your horn, bro. That's fucking what's up. We got Sam. Sam's the man. Sam also made $839 a day. Really nice work, Sam. That was great. And then, of course, Billy. Billy's brand new, guys. I don't think you realize this. Billy has been in the room like a week and a half, and Billy has made money every day. This is the smallest day I've ever seen Billy. He said he wasn't going to trade today, and he still couldn't help himself. He had to make $100. I bet you Billy's made $3 or $4 grand. Wouldn't you say, Zug, in the past week and a half? I mean, this guy's just printing cash. He loves the levels, loves them. He even tells me how much he loves them all the time, and I love this guy for it. I don't know where it's at, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, regardless of that, I just wanted to, give my guys a little shout out. I love giving them little taps on the back. You guys are awesome. You guys are killers, and I appreciate you following the plans and being patient. So we've got 3 minutes left. I want to show you something. This is what everybody was waiting for. At least I'm excited to show it. Let me pull this stuff up here real fast. And this is kind of off the cuff. I wasn't planning on showing this, but I really am excited about it big time. Okay, so let me just pull this up for you. So first and foremost, before I get into this, look at my dog. My dog's like, come on, homie. So check this out, guys. For those of you who know and don't know, Rob is my partner in crime in this whole VICI ordeal. Rob is really the CTO. He's the quant technical side of things. Rob has been missing from the room for probably about a month now. He has been heads down, really just coding and doing his thing, because Rob is on this mission to create something so unique and incredible that it's really going to take us to the next level. And all you guys with me, and I can't wait to share it. I'm going to just do it right now. So Rob has been working on something that no one else in the industry has. And I hope that I'm going to clip this, and we're going to spread this around because everybody needs to hear it. Rob has created something in the industry that no one else has. He has created a backtesting engine for futures that is institutional grade. And I'm not talking about the bullshit on NinjaTrader or TradingView or TradeStation. That's all garbage. Anyone here who's ever used that knows that's all garbage. Not only garbage, but sometimes it takes 16, 18 hours to run a back test, and the results vary all the time. Garbage, complete trash, right? So Rob has built a back testing engine, and he didn't just build something. He built something that's 700,000 lines of code. It is a monster. And he's using AI to help optimize and improve our strategies. And really, he's even got forward-thinking machine learning stuff involved. It is the most incredible thing that I've ever seen. I mean, this guy is on a completely different planet than the rest of us. When I tell you this, I truly, truly mean it. I mean, this is unbelievable. At some point, it will be available to the public. We're trying to figure out how to make it customer facing, but I can promise you this, there is nothing like this in the industry today. We have the only one. It is no one else has this other than maybe a hedge fund or some institution that has put tons of money into this, because that's exactly what we have done. We have 5 years worth of tick data going all the way back. He builds custom bars. He has so much stuff. It is the most incredible thing that I've ever seen. So anyways, this is pretty much Rob's life work. I mean, he's created a masterpiece out of this. And so, me being, I'm always looking at strategy. So I'm always feeding him possible ideas for stuff. And, between Rob making things and I'm making things and we feed it him, he basically is the optimizer. He takes the tools, he develops them, he optimizes them, because that's what Rob's good at. And we each have our strengths. I'm good at pushing buttons and looking pretty. Rob is good at making it happen with the quant work and doing the math. I mean, just for you guys know what Rob's about, and I've said this a few other times, Rob has his MBA in mathematics from Yale. The guy is a West Point graduate who worked in the Air Force, who worked in the Star Wars program, making lasers for the freaking military, to shoot them from the space. I mean, the guy, I don't even know why he's working with me. He's way overqualified to be working with me. I'll tell you that. But I'm glad he's here, and I'm glad he likes me, because the things that we're coming up with are unfreaking real. And when I show you guys this stuff, it is incredible. So we are launching our first automated product this week, actually, and we have another one in the pipeline that's even crazier. But each one of these things have a cap, right? So because any strategy can only handle so much volume, unfortunately, we can only do so many licenses. And I had people hit me up today like, hey, bro, why aren't you doing this yourself and just keeping your mouth shut? Well, guess what? I am. We are running this across every prop firm you can imagine, daisy chaining them all together. They don't even know what's coming, just hitting them. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So here's the deal, right? So sorry, I get all excited about it. So here's the deal. Let me just show you what's up. This is our very first strategy that we're releasing. This is an amazing strategy. It's a 15-minute opening range strategy it's more than just that. It's very complex. It uses order flow and a few other things to kind of understand when it needs to take the trade. It also has a proprietary trending type indicator that Rob has that actually is dynamic in the way it does position sizing. So I'm going to show you this right now. So check this out. So here is the equity curve, and here is the drawdown, right? So this right here, this thing is crazy. This is on a $25,000 account. It basically did $55,000 in basically 18 months. Right. And so we're talking about a 40% return essentially on your money here. The most beautiful part about this is the max risk is $320 per trade. Not only is it $320 per trade, it only takes one trade a day in one direction. So it can possibly take 2 trades per day. But the way he's got it set up is if it breaks out to the highs, it'll take one. It breaks out to the lows, it takes one. But it only trades between cash open at 9:30 and 11 o'clock in the morning. So if it doesn't take a trade by 11 o'clock, it ain't trading. It's pretty crazy the way he's figured all this out. So look at the Sharpe ratio on this, 2.52. This is hedge fund quality goodness right here, right? Look at this. The average win is $368 and the average loss is $170. You kidding me? This is Tits McGee, right? And so our largest drawdown right now, and this is our drawdown from peak, is 7.89%. Pretty freaking impressive. That's not even on the total account. That's just on the peak. You can see it happen somewhere in the beginning of 2025, right? It's about right here. So anyways, with that being said, I mean, this is just an incredible strategy. And the way that it works, it dynamically picks exactly what sizing it's going to do to make sure that it only risks $320 per trade. So this thing says, okay, I can put 10 on if it's really close to his proprietary indicator, or if it's farther away, then it only puts 2 on. That's the minimum is 2, because we always have 2 targets. So it's pretty incredible the way it works. Very proud of this strategy right here. Here's a bigger look at the equity curve. You can see this thing is just long and smooth all the way up. I mean, our drawdowns, like I said, this is the max peak drawdown was in 2025. And then here you can get a really good eye of exactly what we're doing for returns. And of course, this is a real strategy. This isn't bullshit. You're going to have red months. But look at these red months. They're very, very slim. 2%, 1%, 3%. The maximum is 4% on a month. These are real real returns here, people. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so here was something that I thought was super impressive. Now, Rob tells everybody, well, at least the way we're promoting it, is this product actually does 35% return. However, his backtest results say something different. His backtest results say in 2024 it did 53, and in 2025 it did 45%. He chooses to continue to preach that we shouldn't tell people it does 45, 50%, that he would rather under promise and over deliver. So we call it 35% return and call it a day on that. So this is what the things that Rob is working on in the background. Not only that, but we have professional Monte Carlo simulations going on here, guys. He can take this up to 1 million Monte Carlo simulations. Right now, this was ran on 1,000 different variations. And for those of you guys who don't know, a Monte Carlo simulation works like this. It basically takes all your trades. And at this point, it was 637 trades over the course of, I don't know how many years it was. It's probably 2 years, if I had to guess. And it mixes them all up, right? And what it does is that way, it still takes all the trades, but it takes them out of order and out of sample. And it does it 1,000 times. And basically what you're looking for is for it to stay within the first deviation band. And if it does that, you have a primo product, okay? And as you can see, all the way up, it stayed within our first deviation all the way through. And even mixing all the trades up, completely out of sequence, out of random, the average was 55,000 return, the lowest was a $40,000 return, and the highest was a $71,000 return. So you can kind of get an idea of exactly how profitable this strategy could be or how profitable it couldn't be. But either way, it still returned a pretty good amount of money. And these are the kind of institutional things that Rob has really been doing. I mean, he is really taking this shit to the next level. And I am super proud to represent this as, you know, because not only this is incredible shit. I mean, it really is incredible. So with that being said, big salute to Rob. Hats off. You are a genius and a half, and I'm so happy to be working with you. Look, my dog wants attention, so I'm going to have to go here soon. But these are the products that we're going to be launching. We're going to be having these on our website soon. Obviously, VICI members get first access to everything. There will be limited seats to this stuff. And so I am really happy to bring this to you guys. We have another one coming out that's a scalp bot. This one takes like 3 or 4 trades a week. The other one takes like 3 or 4 trades a day. This one trades micros. The other one trades minis. We have all kinds of different products. And Rob is really just heads down, constantly working. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to clip this. We're going to send it out. I think everybody needs to know about this because we have the only one in the entire marketplace. In my opinion, it's probably it's 7 or 8 or an 8 or 9 figure product. So I'm looking forward to making some money. So, hopefully we can bank this up and sell this shit. Somebody can buy me out and I can go sit on a beach somewhere. That's what I'm talking about. So anyways, with that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Trade plan was money as usual. I will have the trade plan out to you at 8:30 in the morning, before the market or before the news. And of course, same time, same channel tomorrow, pre-market, post-market breakdown at 5 p.m. I'll see you there. You guys have a good one. Cheers.